It's a political super Sunday, one-upmanship at rallies across the country. While Rahul Gandhi sets the Congress ball rolling in Odisha, Modi makes a bid to conquer Kerala, the left shows its strength in West Bengal, and MNS is set to debate the toll tax in Maharashtra.
100 दिन के बाद दिल्ली में सरकार बदल जाएगी और नई सरकार ये जहर की खेती करने वालों को विदाई करेगी.
Narendra Modi hits back at Sonia Gandhi, says those indulging in vote-buying politics are best at sowing seeds of poison. Also woos Supreme SCs, STs in Kerala by invoking his humble tea-boy past. Rahul Gandhi takes on the BJD on Odisha, says the state is the richest in the country in terms of resources, but the government is looking to loot them to mine the mafia rich. The left flexes its political muscle as it kickstarts its Lok Sabha campaign in Kolkata after Modi's rally leaves the regional powers in a tizzy. That is, of course, the big story on NewsX for all our bulletins. But this is Speak Out India, and a big focus is, do cricketers and actors make good politicians? Why are we asking this question? That's because former Indian cricket captain Anil Kumble is likely to contest the Lok Sabha elections from the Uttar Kannada seat in Karnataka as the candidate of the Bharatiya Janata Party. As per reliable sources, Kumble stepped down as president of the KSCA in order to plan and strategize for the upcoming general elections. He has approached many politicians and is taking their inputs. Kumble, remember, has been aspiring for a political innings for a while now, but when he was approached by the BJP, he took his time before getting back to the party. Now, if the leg spinner decides to contest the elections, he will be the fifth cricketer to vie for a Lok Sabha seat after the likes of late Mansoor Ali Khan Patodi, Chetan Chauhan, Mohammad Azharuddin and Navjot Singh Sidhu. The political field has also witnessed some high-profile film personalities as well. Parties often use stars to get more people on the sides. When it comes to political success, actors from South India have been far more successful when compared to their Bollywood compatriots. Move towards the north and you have actors like Amitabh Bachchan, Govinda, Sanjay Dutt and several others who have dabbled in politics but with not so great success. Only few like Sunil Dutt have been seriously involved in political affairs have been successful to a reasonable extent. This trend of stars entering politics is seen not only in India but the world over. The 40th American President Ronald Reagan was a famous film actor before he landed in politics. Other actors come politicians include Charlton Heston and of course Arnold Schwarzenegger. So for years they entertain us on the sporting arena and on the silver screen, but then they try to convert their fan mail into votes. What happens when an entertainer tries to become a leader? Tonight on Speak Out India, we are asking you, do film stars and sports icons necessarily make good politicians as well? That's the question we are asking. You can see the number flashing on your screens, 01204369420. Do not forget to call us on that number flashing and express your views to us. We are also joined by our esteemed guest in the panel tonight, Kunickaa Sadanand, a former actor who is joining us from Mumbai. Also joining us is our consulting editor, Ayaz Memon, and also someone who has quite successfully made the transition from cricket to politics, Kirti Azad, BJP MP from the Lok Sabha. Let's go across, we'll go across to all our guests soon enough, but let's go across to our first caller, Rahul Sharma, who is joining us from Bhubaneswar. Rahul, go ahead and give us your views. Do you feel that good cricketers and good actors necessarily mean good politicians as well?
Not really, because if you look at even a Sachin Tendulkar, and with due respect to the man, and he's a cricketing legend, we haven't seen much change that he could have brought to the state of affairs insofar as sports are concerned. And if you look at the big film stars, whether it is in any party, and I'm speaking whether it's the BJP or anyone, we don't really see much change happening. So I don't really think that they make for good politicians. I think the larger question is that whether we are including the common man in the whole process of politics. And if you look at Kunickaa Sadanand, who is also there again, I mean, she's I think she's probably worked more at the grassroots and she's not there in the big league, but she's working there. Now those people, I don't see them sort of, taking the center stage. So somewhere I think the political system is skewed towards celebrity status. I mean, being a celebrity doesn't necessarily give you the...
All right, Rahul, point taken. Let's go across to Usha Rose joining us on the phone line from Bangalore. Usha, go ahead and give us your views when it comes to cricketers trying to become politicians.
Yeah. In a democracy, anybody, just about anybody, can aspire for the highest post in the country. An ordinary tea vendor is today the prime ministerial candidate of a major political party, whereas a megastar like Amitabh Bachchan, after entering politics, found that politics was not his cup of tea. A film star or a sports icon has an initial advantage as he is already a public figure and is well known to the people, but whether he or she can sustain this popularity after going through the grind, the rough and tumble of politics, depends on how serious he is about his new job and how successful he becomes as a politician. There have been many film stars who have become successful politicians, especially in the south, like, N.T. Ramarao in Andhra Pradesh.
All right, Usha, we get your point. So, first two callers giving us two divergent views, setting apart the debate beautifully. Let's go across to Ayaz, who's joining us. Ayaz, again, it can be argued that every individual at the end of it has the right to pursue a profession of his choice, and of course, nobody is banned from joining politics. But we do see quite an interestingly high occurrence of a number of cricketers aiming to join politics. What would you give to be the reason behind this phenomenon?
Well, I think there are two ways, there are two facets to it. One is, of course, there is the celebrity status of cricketers, which is perhaps as much, if not sometimes bigger, than film stars. So the political parties approach them to become faces for their parties and try and garner votes. There are others who are actually end up becoming career politicians, like Kirti Azad is one of them. So his cricketing career was one aspect of his personality. After that is over, he's been in politics for a long time. So too Navjot Singh Sidhu now. Chetan Chauhan was there for a while. I think a distinction has to be made between these two kinds. The attraction obviously is that the person is known or very well known. It rings the bell immediately, and therefore the electorate or the voters may be attracted. But after that, unless you're politically inclined and willing to work as a politician, not only resting on your laurels as a cricketer,
Absolutely.
You're going to find the going tough.
Very interesting indeed, Ayaz. I'll come back to you on that point. But we have two more callers joining us, Kishore from Ghaziabad and George from Guwahati. Kishore, please stay on with us. Let's go across to George first. George, go ahead and give us your views.
I am George Bodolai calling from Guwahati, Assam. My point is, what's wrong in a sports person joining politics, active politics? There's nothing wrong. When Indian politics is full of thugs, dacoits and looters, there's nothing wrong in sports person joining politics. It's just that they have to learn how to do good politics, decent politics.
That's a very interesting point indeed. In fact, George, playing the devil's advocate, saying that a sports person joining politics is certainly better than a criminal joining politics. Kishore from Ghaziabad, go ahead and give us your views. Discussing earlier, the fact still remains that a large percentage of cricketers, and we'll talk sports persons with you before discussing film stars, a large percentage of sportsmen have not been able to make that successful transition from sports to politics like Kirti Azad has been. Is that because somewhere they're all guilty of falling to the trap of assuming that their reputation on the sporting arena will somehow translate into votes, and that backfires when they realize that playing an innings on a cricket field and handling a constituency are two entirely different ball games? Excuse the pun.
Yes, I think that's, look, when cricketers, and especially the well-known cricketers, the better-known cricketers, the great cricketers, when they have finished their body of work, it's something that they excelled in. That was what they were really good at, and they made a mark. Now, politics, as you mentioned, is a different ball game. Kirti Azad's political lineage is known to everybody. He grew up in a family of politics. So in that sense, he was familiar. And then he's put in the hard yards, the long miles, and become, now for all practical purposes, he's a politician. His cricketing career is over. It's not true for everybody. And a lot of these celebrities, whether they are cricketers or film stars, they realize that what they were really good at is not politics. And here you can start getting exposed or perhaps disenchanted, or the people get disenchanted or disillusioned with you.
Absolutely. And let's put it to the man himself, Kirti Azad. Kirti, how do you see this trend of political parties wooing cricketers just ahead of foes?
In my mind, it's good to have people from various walks of life, from sports, from cricket. I also feel that you shouldn't just come in for simply being a member of parliament, just for the heck of it. I think once you get into this field, then you should be sincere to your work that you do. I mean, I joined the BJP in 1993 and I became a member of Legislative Assembly in Delhi, lost to Madam Dixit, Sheila Dixit, became the Chief Minister by about 1500 votes. Then I've been twice elected, that's right, and from the Gore Market area. And then I became a member of parliament twice from Darbhanga, and nobody has repeated that seat since 1952. Nobody has won it twice. So once you come into politics, then it shouldn't be that 5 years you sit here. We have a lot of examples like Govinda and others who came here for 5 years. We have case in point for late Rajesh Khanna ji. I mean, these people came for once and there is it. They vanished into thin air. So I feel that once you get in here, then you should take it as a job and work sincerely for the people. And that is what I have been trying over the years.
That is a very good point indeed, Mr. Azad, a very good point. And let's go across quickly to two callers, Bhargav from Bangalore and Santosh is also from Bangalore. Santosh, stay with us. Bhargav, go ahead and give us your views.
Yeah, as concerning Kumble, he has done so many great things to Karnataka cricket. And unlike some Congress MPs who have allegedly have some match fixing issues and all those things, we never heard Kumble's name in any of these things, and so I think he will make a good politician.
Okay, Bhargav, we get your point. Santosh, go ahead and give us your views.
Yeah, good evening. If the intention is good and is to serve the nation, why not stars and sports icon make good politicians? You have seen many stars like NTR, MGR and now Jayalalitha made their presence very strong in politics. Whatever profession and field politicians are from, the nation expects good government, corrupt-free, safe, secure and dignified life. Voters are wise. If the performance is zero, whatever field politicians are from, the door is wide open. That is why the politician elected should walk in the path of statesmanship. This is my view.
Okay, thank you so much, Santosh, for giving us your views. Ayaz, one quick question because we understand you have some other engagements. But Ayaz, it's as one of our callers mentioned that Anil Kumble has a clean image as a sports person. He has been seen as one of the genuine statespersons of the game. But the fact remains that he does have a rather controversial leader past as an administrator, and specifically that of the Karnataka Cricket Association. There was a lot of great expectations from Anil Kumble and Javagal Srinath. Yet the fact remains a lot of people believe that the KCA is still as mired in corruption as it ever, especially something which came out during the entire N. Srinivasan saga last year.
Well, I think he's had his first brush with politics after becoming, boss of the Karnataka State Cricket Association. Now, whether that has emboldened him to jump into national politics or it has frightened him away, we'll have to wait and see. But remember this, Anil Kumble is a man of the world. He's travelled, he's met all kinds of people, and where active politics at the national level is concerned, he's still very young. He's in his early 40s. So he's got a long way to, he can learn a lot and then make a career out of it if he so chooses. There are people who have dived into politics and made a success of it. We've talked about Kirti Azad earlier, but even overseas, Gary Kasparov is one of them, the chess champion in the past. In a sense, Sebastian Coe in England, while he's not been a political animal, but he has been politicking for the Olympics and aligning himself with political parties. So sports persons getting into politics is not the issue, but they should be clear in their minds that this is what they want to do and not just want to ride their celebrity status, because that is like a house of cards which can come crumbling down immediately.
Alright, Ayaz, let's switch the focus a bit and let's focus on film stars and actors at this point. Kunickaa Sadanand, a lot of criticism which is leveled against film stars and actors who enter politics is that they're not here for the long haul, as Kirti Azad mentioned. There are two levels of involvement of film stars. Either it's at campaigning to just add a glamorous face, or it's to be a Lok Sabha MP or an MLA for 5 years. If you win, for instance, Govinda, who scored an upset in 2004, if you do not, then you quietly fade away. Why is it that we don't have any film stars trying to be workers of the party or trying to be in the long haul, continuing to be in the party even after they have lost the first election and be there for the long haul?
Okay, first of all, film stars essentially get into it because they want to give back, because they receive so much love and respect, and if that's the reason they get into it, that's a good thing. The point is that they don't realize sometimes the kind of hard work and commitment that goes into it. Now, as Rahul mentioned, that I've been working in the grassroots level, and I'm not anywhere on the high profile leaders of the Congress, because I have to build my way up. We also have a disadvantage that we are only associated with the perception of glamour. And you know, people feel, अरे इनको हम रात को कैसे phone करेंगे, अगर हमें कुछ problem होगा तो क्या वो आएंगे? So this perception we have to fight. And as far as being used for campaigning, I think now the public and the people are not fools. I mean, they're not going to just give you votes because you have celebrities on your bandwagon, and that has faded away. And also the Election Commission has come down very heavily on the expenses, so everybody knows that a lot of film stars don't come, they come at a cost. Now the point about why is it that we don't reach that level so fast, or if we reach that level, why don't we sustain it? There's a lot of sycophancy in the political system. You have to always do Ji Hazuri and yes sir, and then you have people pulling you down, and especially because of celebrity, when you walk in there always be cameras which turn towards you.
Ms. Sadanand, isn't it something which everyone goes through when they enter politics, not just actors? Isn't it something which anyone who enters the political phase should be prepared for?
No, I'll tell you why. I was coming to that. Let me explain to you.
Okay.
When a celebrity walks in, and if she or he is in politics and they walk in, besides the senior leaders who are there, even this celebrity is going to get photographed. The press is going to turn around and take pictures. Now the senior leaders, who, if they're not doing too much work and if they're not connected with the grassroots, they're going to get insecure. So what they're going to do, they're going to sideline you, and this I have experienced with in my life. So what I do to counter that is I go more deeper into the grassroots, I go and handle problems, and I sort of try to sort out issues, and so I'm working my way up. But people like Govinda, when they have come into the system, they feel that okay, everybody's going to be okay sir, yes sir, no sir. It doesn't happen for long. Once you won the party ticket and you've run the election, then you need to work, because ultimately the people's perception is what you have to change.
All right,
and they have to understand that Govinda is here, he's working for us.
All right, Kunickaa, one quick question from Krishan, who's called us from Delhi. Krishan, go ahead and give us your views.
Yeah, my question is actually, it's not matter of they elected and coming to Lok Sabha. They should get opportunity to serve. The problem is Azharuddin won the election, but if you are not giving some opportunity like sports ministry or something, then you won't get a chance to serve the people. Only the problem is the Govinda won before that the Ram Naik was winning and he was doing certain things in Bombay. But Govinda won, he has done nothing.
Absolutely. All right, fair enough, Krishan. But we have been there's been a lot of criticism which has come in for film stars and cricketers who have joined politics. But what about political parties themselves? Kirti Azad, are political parties guilty of using the clean image and the goodwill which is built up for cricketers or film stars for their electoral gains?
Yes, yes.
So there's no question of cleaning the image or not. Haven't we had fixers in cricket? I mean, haven't we had people who've been involved into drugs? I mean, you have people from all walks of life, some way or the other being involved, whether you are in politics, social life, or sports, or films, or anywhere. You find bad people everywhere. You find the bad fish everywhere. But that does not mean that everybody is bad.
But Kunickaa, again, as someone who has made the transition from the tinsel town to the politics, is it true that ultimately you are never dissociated from glamour? Because I'll give the example of what happened to Rekha when she entered parliament. There was a huge tizzy. There were MPs falling over their feet trying to have a glimpse of a Bollywood actress being a part of them. So inevitably the glamour tag is always associated with film stars, and you're never taken seriously as people intent on bringing about political change.
I'll tell you, there are two issues over here. When you get into politics, you need money because you need to spend money, your petrol, your office expense, whatever. So if you don't have a business, then you're going to obviously have to get it from the film industry. So you have to maintain, as for example me, I have no other business. So for me, I have to dedicate some time to make my money in the film industry, and then the other time to give to politics. And somehow I'm balancing it. It's a big task. because you don't want to make money out of politics through corruption, because that's not why you went into it. You want to give back, and you know that you can generate money because you've been doing it and you've been surviving like that. So that is definitely an issue, and the reason why people don't get out of that glamour clique or whatever is because that's what people expect from me. Like if I'm invited to a party function, I cannot go looking drab.
No, but no,
I have
Kunickaa,
a
you're not getting my
tag
point.
attached,
My
and they
point
also
is,
expect me to come as a celebrity.
no, Kunickaa, that's not the point. The point is when you come in to the Legislative Assembly or to the Parliament, you're not coming for a pastry attendance where you're supposed to look glamorous. The focus should be on your role as a leader of the, as a elected representative of the people. Yet we see this tag of glamour being associated.
I have an issue with that, you know. Look, I have an issue with that. You cannot decide that a politician has to wear a khadi sari or a khadi band gala. I have an issue with that. You dress the way you feel comfortable. Yes, you don't have to wear false eyelashes, you don't have to wear glossy makeup and all that, but dress the way you may feel comfortable, because people, if you're a leader, people have to look up to you. You cannot be looking drab and horrible and tired, and you know, so I don't agree with this concept that okay, if you're in politics, you have to wear a cotton sari, you have to wear a starch, crisp, you know, 500 rupees ka.
All right, okay. All right,
we're
getting a caller again. This is a call-in show. You are encouraged to call in on the number flashing at the bottom of your screens, and we have Raghunandan who's calling us from Hyderabad. Raghunandan, go ahead and give us your views.
Please, okay, thank you.
Raghunandan, if you can hear me, please mute your television set and go ahead and then express your views. Alright, we seem to have lost Raghunandan there, but again a reminder to all of viewers to please mute the television sets before coming across to us. Kirti Azad, another criticism which is leveled against political parties is that they're obviously playing for cheap popularity, which is why perhaps cricketers are often preferred over people from other sports, like someone like Dhanraj Pillai, who's as famous as Kumble or even more. How do you explain this phenomenon? Alright, we seem to have some slight problems connecting with Kirti Azad. But Kunickaa Sadanand, the difference probably...
I want to also say one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, somebody said that, you know, Azharuddin ji was elected and so was elected and they were not given a chance to work. What do you mean by chance to work? If you're elected, you've been given a chance to work. Then you people work. I mean, we have karyakartas who are not elected, who don't have the money power or the celebrity status, and they work at the grassroots level. So if you're elected, you have a chance to work. You have so many issues in your area, and especially for an MP, he will probably have like some 10-15 talukas under him in the you know, rural area,
okay.
And in the cities he'll have some wards, like say 7, 10, 15 wards under him. So there's so many issues where they can take up. Of course they can work, and that's the whole idea, that you select somebody like an Azharuddin or a celebrity because that person has face value. They will take your issues right up to the top. And so there's no question of, you know, not getting a chance to work. You got elected, you got a chance to work.
That's an interesting point indeed, Kunickaa. Unfortunately, we are running out of time on the show. Thank you so much, Kunickaa, Ayaz and Kirti, and also our callers for calling in and giving us their opinions on the show. Ultimately, I believe that if a politician, whether it be a film star or a common man or a sports person, ultimately works for the country, works for the people who have elected him, he can automatically answer all his critics and all his doubts. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned.